Hi, this is Pat Sheranian. So glad to be with you this morning, and thank you for being with me. We appreciate you on the radio, and we appreciate you on the internet. Thanks so much. My guest today is Craig Crockett, and we're going to start with who is he and all about him, and find out everything that you'll need to know because he's in a service. And we like to have people that are in a service, and without folks like him, some of us wouldn't be sitting up straight today. So let's start right out. Dr. Crockett, and you're located where?
My office is in Salem, Utah.
Let's give a phone number and an address. Okay. We want these folks to find you.
591 North.
591 North.
State Road 198.
State Road 198.
And the office number is 801-504-6370.
Let's give it again.
801-504-6370.
Great. Now that's in Payson?
That's in Salem, Utah.
In Salem. Yeah, okay, where's Salem?
Salem's just a little bit south of Spanish Fork.
Before you get down?
Before you get to Payson.
Okay. So if I'm coming off the freeway, I'm going to the east or the west?
You're going to the east off of the freeway.
Going to the east, into town.
Yeah, if you go into Spanish Fork on Main Street, just follow Main Street south, it'll take you right into Salem.
Oh, that's easy. Just go past the fairgrounds and keep going?
Exactly, yeah.
The last time I got off in Spanish Fork, the first time was when they had a expo down there about a month and a half ago at the fairgrounds. I did it the hard way and wound up going south or somewhere, but it wasn't west.
Yeah, we're hoping soon the freeway will be wrapped up.
Well, yeah,
there.
I figured out if you can get to the fairgrounds from here, then you're smarter than the average bear, and follow the instructions. You were raised, you said, locally, somewhere around here. No, Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado. I grew up most of my growing up years in Colorado, and served a mission, came here, went to BYU after my mission, played football in 1983, Steve Young's last year, and played with BYU just the 1 year. I hurt my neck pretty severely, and I had to quit playing ball, which is what prompted me over the years to become a chiropractor. So
I started to say, do people make a decision in high school that they want to be a doctor, or is there some life-changing experience? And there usually is. As I talk to people over the years, there's usually something that pushes them towards what they wind up doing professionally. But I want to go back and explore your early years in Colorado, because you blew right past them. So you had mentioned you grew up in a large family, and I'm always interested in the individual and how you made it to where you are and survived it.
Yeah, I was the oldest boy. There were 7 boys in my family and 2 girls. The oldest is a girl, the youngest is a girl.
Your mother gets a crown jewel in the hereafter. You understand? After 3 boys, everybody gets a jewel that raises more boys.
Yeah, she's good.
Is she still alive?
Yeah, she's still alive.
Oh, that's
She's
great.
about 71, but she's doing well.
Oh, bless her heart. Well, that's great. So the boys were competitive. You grew up in sports. Should I think that because you're tall, big guy?
Well, did a lot of sports when I was younger. Played football and track in high school, and enjoyed it.
All right, where'd you go on your mission?
Went to Chile in South America.
Okay, so you speak Spanish.
Yeah, I speak. It's been 30 years, but I still speak a little Spanish.
Don't go there. I don't. Como se llama Patricia? That's it.
Yeah.
That's the extent of my 9th grade Spanish. Well, and then you said you played football at BYU, Steve Young's last year. That was an exciting time. Certainly, I live on over near the stadium, and oh boy, those were exciting years. A lot of shouting and screaming and happiness going on. And I think I had a niece that was dating him at the time, so we all knew Steve Young for lots of reasons. Good guy.
He was a really good guy.
But let's talk about what happened to you.
So I never played on the varsity at BYU. I was on what they call the meat squad, which was like a practice squad. So I hurt my neck real bad in practice one day. I lost all the feeling in my right arm. I couldn't move my arm. This was pretty serious. The doctor, I went to a neurologist. He said I had a pinched nerve in my lower neck, upper thoracic spine. I went to a lot of chiropractors over the years, but at one point I graduated from BYU in construction management. I was building houses. I built a house for a chiropractor. He helped me so much. I was like 31 years old then. I started thinking about going back to school. And when I was close to 40, I went back to school to become a chiropractor.
Really? You said, okay, this is a dream. I'm going to make it come true.
Yeah.
We got lawsuits going on right now about injured football players, other people that have been in the various sports industries, and lots of terrible things have happened over the years. And this has absolutely nothing to do with you, but I'm curious what you feel about that.
Tell you the truth, I haven't heard much about that, so
Okay.
I wouldn't
Well,
have-
it's just they're putting together a lawsuit because of the head injuries, neck injuries, back injuries, and so forth. But then my question is, you chose to get in this sport, so what do you think you were getting into, you know?
Yeah.
You're
Well-
not sitting down and knitting.
I can only speak from my own experience, but BYU, when I was injured there, they sent me to a good doctor. I mean, they took care of me to the full extent that they could. But when you make the choice to play, I think you have to accept those risks. That's part of the deal.
So then this chiropractor, what did he actually do for you?
He just adjusted my back in a way that nobody'd ever done it before.
Well, now you're a big guy.
Yeah.
So there's always a problem adjusting a big guy because I have big children. And they've had knee problems and back problems.
Yeah, but the chiropractor that I built the house for, Dr. Malin up in Salt Lake, he wasn't a real big guy, but he was
You know
good.
what he was doing.
And he helped me a lot, and that's what got me thinking about it.
Okay, where'd you wind up going to school?
I went to chiropractic college in Kansas City, Missouri.
That's a good one. A lot of people have gone there that I've had on the air, actually.
Yeah. And it's a smaller school, which turned out to be good for me. The smaller class sizes allowed us to really, I think, learn more in a shorter period of time. So it was good.
That's good. So, all right. So now you've graduated. How many years did you go to school?
It's
Or was it months?
It's a 4-year program.
Oh, really?
But
So at 40, you started over?
yeah, but they allow you to squeeze it together. So we did it in 3 years. When my hair was brown when I started, and now it's gray.
It's
so
nice to know what happens when you go back to school at 40. You come out with white hair. Is that the deal?
that's the deal. But it was good. And when we graduated, we went to a small town in eastern Arizona called St. John's, Arizona. And we practiced there for 8 years, and then we recently moved here.
And you have a family.
I have 3 daughters, and 2 are married, and 1 lives in Provo. And
That's great. Isn't this a great place to raise a family? You got to admit it is.
it's good.
It's good. This community is good to raise a family. All right. Well, now I have some problems. So I have a shoulder that is just absolutely frozen. I tore a rotator cuff some years ago. I was trying to pick up paper off the floor and sitting in a rolling chair, and it blammed back, and I hit my head and then went forward under the desk. And as I started under the desk, I just grabbed the top of the desk, and I heard that thing, felt it just pull all apart. And that was, in '06. And I went through every kind of therapy. I do swim because I can go this way. But when it comes to raising your arm to the square, it isn't going there. It just isn't. So they wanted to do surgery. And I was married to a surgeon at one point. And some people do really well. They believe in surgery. I don't. I saw some things that happened, and they were totally necessary. The things that he worked, people he worked on, they're really necessary. But the road back was tough in every case. And I thought, I don't know if I got the patience to go through that. So, because there's a lot of physical therapy that comes when you've had replacements or surgery, particularly around shoulders and hips and knees.
Yeah, shoulders particularly hard for rehab.
And so in the end, a wonderful Chinese doctor up in the Sandy area, through my insurance at that time, took a look at it, and he said, you just don't have enough muscle on your shoulder. We can tear it apart, put it all back together, and the first time you do a quick reach to swim, you're going to pull it all out. And I said, thank you very much. I think I won't do this. So I didn't. But I have kind of looked for different things that would just relieve it. It doesn't hurt. It just doesn't go anywhere. So I don't have pain anymore. I take Chiropr products that keep me from having much pain. And in fact, I don't have any. But I'm irritated that I can't reach the back of my head and kind of have full range. It bothers me. I go there and it doesn't go. So I want to hear about some of the people that you've worked on, like the worst case kind of thing. And going through school, did you have hands-on experience? I'm assuming you did.
Yes, we had quite a bit of hands-on experience.
Okay, well,
school.
let's talk a little bit about some of the hands-on experience that you go through, because I really haven't asked that question. I've had several chiropractors on. And then I want to know what happened on your mission. That's we're an LDS space station, and we beam out all over the world, which is exciting. In fact, we hope here very quickly in July to have an early morning show where we're just teaching the gospel across the board 5 days a week. We can do that because we have the internet and we can go anywhere we feel like we want to. So it's really been fun, and we are going to draw on our community, and people have been on missions like yourself.
Oh, good.
So, all right, let's talk about some of the extremes that you ran into when you were training.
Well, let me just start. In school, your first semester, they actually put you in a class called Palpation Number 1. And so you start feeling other people's spines and start to get to know.
Palpation?
Palpation just means feeling with your hands.
Okay.
So just a quick example, the first class, the teacher has one of the students sit in a chair, and he palpates their neck, and he says, okay, this person has a problem at C2, which would be the second thoracic or cervical vertebra. And then everybody in the class comes up and feels their neck, and I just thought he was full of it because I couldn't feel anything.
Couldn't feel anything.
But,
I'm sorry, fella, you're wrong.
but over time, I mean, it took months, you develop a sense for how things are supposed to feel and how they don't feel correct when there's a problem, and there's a lack of motion in a particular segment. So it takes time. When I was in the clinic in chiropractic college, I had a patient who had MS, and he was pretty famous. He did a lot of, even with MS, he did bike rides. He would do hundreds of miles. When he was my patient, he went to Australia and did a big, long bike ride. So he would try to raise awareness about MS, and so he was probably one of my more challenging patients, but had anywhere from babies, on up to
All right, now,
senior citizens.
MS is the curvature.
No, multiple sclerosis, where you get plaquing on your spine.
Oh, that's
keeps
it.
keeps you from walking sometimes. Some people with MS are able to walk, but it's just, they have a hard time getting
Does
around.
it get gradually?
It depends. Some people go into remission. Some people, it takes them down into a wheelchair eventually, and it can, cause a
Any
premature
cure?
death. No, not
I've
yet.
heard this over and over, and I guess I keep hoping I'll hear that somebody's come up with a cure. But so do you work with those types of patients now?
I don't have any MS patients currently, but he was probably just one of the more challenging ones I ever had.
But he kept going. That's great.
Kept going.
Okay, so at what point, by the time you've graduated, what have you been through? Every possible point of the body?
Pretty much.
Okay, what happened to me when I was in Arizona? I think I may have told you this story. I moved a ton of dirt, literally, with a wheelbarrow during the summer across the backyard because they dumped it in a carport, which was dumb, but that's where it got dumped. And really messed up my back and my neck. And so I went to a chiropractor that was recommended to me, and he had me sitting up on a table, and I'm just sitting there, and he said, well, I can tell your neck's out of adjustment. And he went, crack, and I heard it crack, and I fainted dead away and fell off onto the floor. They were picking me up off the floor. So I had some hesitation about going to chiropractors, as you can well imagine. And over the years, I've overcome it because I have met some great guys. But I love this because in the ad where I found you, it said, afraid of getting cracked, hurt, twisted. Yes, I think we all are. And I still don't know what happened to that day, that particular day. Of why? Because I don't faint easily. I'm fearless usually. And I fell without hurting anything. But what happened? What would have caused me to pass out?
Well, you've got a sympathetic nervous system. It's a chain of what are called ganglia that run up and down your neck.
Okay.
And I had some experience with this personally. One of my daughters, actually while I was in chiropractic college, she got up one morning and turned her head and heard a loud pop. And she came to me and said, Dad, my neck popped and it really hurts bad. And then her eyes just dilated and she passed out.
So that could be what happened.
Yeah, what happens is, and it doesn't have to happen with a chiropractor or whatever, but one of her joints just was real stiff or whatever. When it popped, it just kind of messes up those nerves, and they get a little overexcited, and it can cause you to faint. But typically in a chiropractor's office, you would get an exam and all these things before.
Right.
And so hopefully that's what that doctor did. But that's what we do with my patients, and a lot of my patients don't like to get cracked, so we've got other methods for adjusting them without cracking them. So it makes it a lot less scary.
We're going to go to commercial break, and when we come back, I'm speaking with Dr. Craig Crockett. We're going to come back and talk about some of those methods. And how much fun have you had with your last name? So we're going to come talk about that, David Crockett. Oh, no, excuse me, Craig Crockett.
Okay, thanks, Pat.
We'll be back in just a minute. In business since 1980, RIMS has served Utah property owners and condominium associations for nearly 3 decades. Today, RIMS stands as one of Utah's largest and most reputable management firms. Whether your property is large or small, a homeowners association or an individual condominium, an apartment community or a single-family home, a student housing complex or an office or retail center, RIMS will provide all the necessary management and maintenance expertise you need to achieve your goals without sacrificing any of the personal and responsive care you expect from your property management company. Call 801-375-5595. Looking to rent a property that RIMS manages? Go to remsinc.com or call 801-375-5595.
Hi, I'm Roger Strong. I'm here to tell you about Tidbits of Utah County. No death, divorce, devastation, or destruction, just good news for good people. You'll find us everywhere in Utah Valley, in doctors' offices, restaurants, mechanic shops, anywhere that people wait. We have over 35 features of fun, family-friendly entertainment. To find a paper or to advertise, call Roger at 801-616-6288. Again, that's Roger at 801-616-6288. We're Tidbits of Utah County, the happy paper for Happy Valley.
By focusing solely on the evaporative cooling industry, Swamp Tech has quickly become the experts. We bring our clients the latest technologies and offer only the highest quality parts. Swamp Tech has been servicing coolers since 1997 and has over 3,000 current clients. Why would you trust anyone else with your cooling needs? Call 801-471-0491. Swamp Tech's services include seasonal startup and shutdown, installation of a new evaporative cooling system, repair or replacement of your existing swamp cooler, and flex duct run for whole house distribution. Call us at 801-471-0491 or go to swamptech.net, SWAMPTECH.net. Summer's heat has arrived. Don't spend another sleepless night because you're too hot. Call today for an appointment, 801-471-0491.
We're back. This is Pat Sheranian with my guest today, Dr. Craig Crockett. And I want to just comment on the last commercial that you heard of Swamp Tech. Jake, who owns that company, is just an amazing man. I called him. My swamp cooler had just dead stopped in the middle of the heat a couple of weeks ago. I pleaded with him to send somebody out. He did immediately. He has offices under Swamp Tech in the Salt Lake area, but they service Davis County and also Utah County. Well, the guys came out and they looked at this 25-year-old swamp cooler and prayed over it, I think. But they managed to get another weekend out of it, and I happened to have 30 people at my home for dinner last Sunday a week ago, and it made it through the next week. And then they came Saturday, of all things. They're working on Saturday, so to accommodate me, they put up the new swamp cooler. They did a wonderful job. It was just really fun to watch them and work with them. The guys, the techs, are really good and know what they're doing. And then Jake called to make sure everything was okay and if I was pleased with the work. And, of course, I was. And he's going to be a guest on the air with me on July 2nd. And so we'll get to hear the story from his side of it. But thanks again to all of the techs and everybody at Swamp Tech. Sure do appreciate them. All right, Dr. Crockett, I said we were going to talk a little bit about your name because there's just no way that you could have gone through school without somebody referring to David Crockett. And if by chance, are you related?
We're related, but a little bit distant.
Okay.
But definitely through school, people used to sing the Davy Crockett song to me all the time. And it's just part of growing up with that name. But once I got to about 6'4", people quit bothering me so much about it.
They didn't mess around with you. They were at a distance if they were calling names and making fun of you. Oh, I love it. Where are you in the lineup with your brothers?
I'm the oldest boy. I have an older sister, and then all the rest are younger.
All these boys, 7 boys.
Yeah.
Did they all wind up in professions, or?
Yeah, they're
all doing
they're-
things?
I've got a brother's a dentist, one who's a PA, one is or two are manufacturing engineers, and one is that's a drug rep for a drug company for cattle. He's an animal husbandry
Oh,
graduate.
interesting.
So there's, they're all smart guys. One's a physical therapist assistant. They're all of them real smart and successful. So
That is great. I give full credit to your mother. Raising 7 boys, and it's great she got her 2 girls, one on either end. I
Yep,
think that's
yeah.
great. All right, now let's get serious here and talk about, because you've got a special offer right now, and I want to mention that, and I want to mention your phone number again. So the phone number to get hold of Dr. Crockett to make an appointment is 801-504-6370. 504-6370. He's located down in Salem, which is between Spanish Fork and Payson. In fact, if you're going right through Spanish Fork, right, you stay straight, just go straight past the fairgrounds, keep going, take you right into Salem.
Yep.
On Main Street there, and he's located at 591 North and what is it?
State Road.
State Road 198.
We're right
Okay.
next to the South Valley Gym. It's a pretty new gym that's there in Salem. It's a big building. We're right next door.
Good. Do you have people come over after they've lifted too much
oh,
weight
yes.
and really mess themselves up?
Oh, yes.
Now, did you plan that, or did they just happen to move in next to you?
No, we planned it that way. They
I
were
love
they
it.
were there before we got there. So
Okay, I like it. Good thinking. Because I swim at a therapy pool, and I see people come in all the time because they lifted and dropped a weight on themselves. Okay, and so right now you have some things for specials. So you want to talk about those, and then we're going to talk about the different modalities that you work in.
you bet. We offer chiropractic adjustment. Your first visit with an exam for $25.
Really?
We're just a cash practice. Insurance companies have given us the grief in the past, so we've tried to make our cash price affordable for everyone.
So for $25, you get the consultation, you get the, and my shoulder hurts, so you're going to work on it kind of thing?
Right. And then if you have to get X-rays, it's usually, if it's just one area, it's an extra $30 on top of the $25.
And do you x-ray right there?
Yes.
Okay, so everything's right there, and that's not very expensive at all.
No, we try to make it affordable. That's really what we
You
try
move
to
that
do.
up towards Salt Lake, it's going to be at least double and maybe triple, for goodness sakes. That's worth driving from North Provo down to Salem to find you. Okay, and then you've got a laser visit, so we're going to talk about the laser treatment, and there's 6 of those for $240. Is that correct?
Yeah, we have it's called a cold laser, which basically just means that when you do the laser therapy, there's no heat involved. But the laser that we have is probably more powerful than most. Most chiropractors are using lasers that are measured in milliwatts of power, and ours is actually measured in watts. That's about 3 watts of power. But it's amazing. It pushes light energy into your tissues and speeds up the healing process. And so increases blood flow. So I've had patients with, for example, foot pain for 20 years. And, they have a hard time standing for any period of time.
Yeah.
They'll come in, laser their foot for, sometimes 6, 7 visits does it. Sometimes it takes, twice that many. But,
Wait, so talk about my shoulder.
So with your shoulder, how long ago did that happen?
It's been 06. It's been
06.
a lot of years.
So
And I'm sure it's all frozen, calcified, and gotten ugly.
So laser therapy, I've had real good results with shoulders. So the fact that you don't have pain is good,
No, I don't have pain.
but most people, after they do some laser therapy, they increase their range of motion.
All
And
right.
So it actually helps.
I'm boogieing down this afternoon because I'm tired of trying to get to the back of my head and become a contortionist trying to reach the back of my head. My goodness. All right, so you do the laser treatment. The only ones that I have seen, it's a small, like a wand. But I haven't seen anything like, you said your machine's too big to bring down here.
It's a bigger machine. It has 2 parts. One part, I'll show you a picture of it here.
Does it not harmful in any way?
No. You have to wear glasses when you're using it because the laser can be harmful to your eyes if you shine it in your eyes.
that is large. Okay, you can't see this. Do you have a website?
Yes.
Let's give your website.
SouthValleyChiropractic.com.
SouthValleyChiropractic.com. All right, Kent, if you can find that, you might find a picture. Is this on your website?
Yes.
Okay, then we can show that because that is a large machine, and I haven't seen anything like that. Well, I'm impressed, to say the least, that you can do that. All right, so you talk about pain management, reduction of inflammation, increased mobility, and high-speed recovery. That sounds like a good deal to me for everybody, and the price is certainly right. All right, let's talk about this that you have brought with you.
The gun or the...
The gun?
The gun, okay.
Do I want to talk about a gun?
All right.
Did I know it was called a gun?
People call it an adjusting instrument, but some
Okay.
people call it a gun. But
All right.
It's electric.
As long as I know what you're doing while I'm sitting here.
It's electric and it vibrates. Let me just give you a little
Okay.
demonstration here.
Oh, that feels good.
So-
How about the middle knuckle? Let's go there.
So what happens is I get patients in who don't like to get cracked, especially in their neck.
Oh,
And
let's
so-
do my neck. Let's do my neck.
Okay.
Okay. Now, are you using your thumb between me and the gun?
I am. Just sometimes it's a little harsh on the neck. If you just
That
so I
feels
do it
good.
right through my finger.
That feels really good. All right, so how did you learn about it? Did they teach you all this in school, or did this come after?
I learned this in school. They originally I learned with a handheld instrument that kind of clicked.
Yeah,
and then we
that's
kinda-
the one I know about.
We
I don't know
graduated
about
up to this one. This is a lot more effective because it helps your muscles to relax. You can actually use it on the muscle, then go to the vertebra and adjust it.
People that have diabetes, which I have had for 14 years because of the Chiropr products, people who've listened to me know that I'm no longer diabetic. But the results of taking medication for so long and being diabetic for those 14 years, the pads of my feet are sore often. And I don't notice it too often, but would that make any difference whatsoever to a diabetic person? Because the neuropathy sets in pretty fast. And my daughter that I lost 15 years ago, she had neuropathy in her stomach. I mean, no way to get there.
Yeah.
But I know feet and hands, extremities. Could that help
You bet.
diabetic?
We've used the laser to treat neuropathy, and we also have an electrical therapy in our office. It's an electrical vibration therapy that really helps neuropathy a lot.
How does that work?
It's just a specific electric frequency. People that have it in their feet, we actually have a foot bath. You put your feet into a foot bath, and there's an electric current that runs from one foot through to the other foot. And it actually...
Now, wait a minute. That sounds dangerous. Come on. We're talking electricity in the foot bath. Are you mad at me?
No. Water and electricity may sound dangerous, but it's actually made for that application.
Okay, so tell me again how it works.
So there's an electrode in each side of the foot bath. You put your
Okay.
feet in, you turn the machine on, and you'll feel electricity in your feet. But the electric current actually travels from one foot to the other, and then back in through the water through the electrodes. But people that have neuropathy in their feet can get a lot of improvement by using that foot bath. If they use it several times in a row, they'll notice an improvement.
So they come in for treatments.
Yes.
Now, is that part of the same thing, or is that a different kind of treatment?
It's a different treatment, and we've used both the laser and the electricity for people with neuropathy, and we've used a combination, and the combination seems to really work well together.
Do you work quite a bit with athletes?
Do a lot of work with athletes?
I would think so.
Yep.
But I'm interested in diabetics. I have been emailing a number of diabetics that were involved with Dr. Day, the doctor I was working with. And then one day he said, "You're not diabetic anymore. You're taking care of yourself, and your blood sugars are good, and blood pressure's good." And so I don't go to him anymore. But I've tried to suggest things for those folks to do. So I hope some of them are watching today, because there's a lot of pain involved in diabetes, and
There is.
particularly if you're taking insulin, which is a different question. So I know that when you're on medication, it's possible to get off because I've done it. And that's exercise and diet, and in this case, drinking some products that have blueberry, a lot of blueberry, and another one that has omega-3 pure fish oil. So a lot of different things have played into this. But when you're on insulin, can you still help that individual? Because
You bet.
that's serious diabetes. My daughter was on 5 shots a day, and diabetes beat her.
Yeah.
She didn't make it. So of course, I'm sensitive to that, and would love to have anybody I know come and see you. So what would that cost if you come in for a series of treatments on the feet, for instance?
If they came in for a series of treatments on their feet, what we would do is test the laser and the water bath and find out which one worked best for them, and then we would go with that.
How about the gun?
And we would adjust them also, because some
Okay.
people, just getting adjusted helps their neuropathy.
Oh,
Not everybody, but we would definitely do a chiropractic assessment, and then we'll do some testing to see which modality helps them the most, and then we would proceed from
okay,
that
so
point.
we've got 3 modalities here, is that right? We've got the gun, we've got the electricity. I've got to go have that one. I've got to try that one out. And then the laser.
therapy.
And is there anything else?
We have 2 types of electrical therapy. The other one is more traditional. It just, for tight muscles and things, it's called interferential therapy. So we use that a lot, mostly in conjunction with chiropractic adjustment. But the laser and the foot bath are the biggest ones we use for people that have neuropathy.
Okay. I want to talk about babies and children. We need to take a commercial break, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Can we do
Okay.
that and
You
talk
bet.
about
You bet.
babies, particularly babies that come to us with little problems
You
to
bet.
start with?
You bet.
Okay, we'll be
Thanks,
right
Pat.
back. This is Pat Sheranian with
Are you an athlete looking for a natural boost to your workout? Have you studied up on the benefits of nitric oxide production to your performance? Then you'll want to try Kyani's Nitro Extreme. Nitro Extreme promotes cardiovascular health and improved blood flow, supports muscle contraction and relaxation, as well as nerve transmission. I use Nitro Extreme right before I lift weights, and I've never been stronger in my entire life. If you don't try Nitro Extreme, you'll never know what you're missing. Call 801-362-9552 to order yours today. That's 801-362-9552.
Drowning in debt? Overwhelming debt can cost you thousands of dollars a year in extra charges, fees, penalties, and interest costs. Are you sure you want to waste all that hard-earned money? Vantage Credit Alliance, a local, top-rated national debt settlement company, has attorneys that negotiate a settlement of your debt using strategies to also remove the negative off your credit report. This saves you 7 years of bad luck because it's just not there anymore. It's as if it never happened, increasing your credit scores instantly and saving you thousands of dollars in interest and insurance costs that you just don't have to pay anymore. Vantage Credit Alliance is first in the nation and is the only one in the nation to use this dynamic technique to reduce your debt, pay off your bills, increase your credit scores, save you thousands, and get you back in the game. If you have $10,000 or more in debt, call today and start getting creditors off your back. Call 801-769-9443 to get a free debt analysis. Call us today at 801-769-9443.
By focusing solely on the evaporative cooling industry, Swamp Tech has quickly become the experts. We bring our clients the latest technologies and offer only the highest quality parts. Swamp Tech has been servicing coolers since 1997 and has over 3,000 current clients. Why would you trust anyone else with your cooling needs? Call 801-471-0491. Swamp Tech's services include seasonal startup and shutdown, installation of a new evaporative cooling system, repair or replacement of your existing swamp cooler, and flex duct run for whole house distribution. Call us at 801-471-0491 or go to swamptech.net, SWAMPTECH.net. Summer's heat has arrived. Don't spend another sleepless night because you're too hot. Call today for an appointment, 801-471-0491.
Thank you for being with us. This is Pat Sheranian with Dr. Craig Crockett, and we are talking about his profession, chiropractic profession, and we are learning things that I didn't know and modalities that I didn't really understand. I had asked him about babies, young children. Somebody had suggested to me many years ago that babies have some of them a tough time going through the birth canal. And they were of the opinion that every baby ought to have some type of adjustment as soon as possible. So I've never done that, never known anybody that had, but I have heard people talk about it since then.
I've worked on lots of babies. Some come out and they're in pretty good shape. Others definitely need a lot of work.
A lot of adjustment.
So just to give you a quick example, I had when I lived in Arizona, I had a woman bring her son to me. He was like 8 weeks old and been crying nonstop from the time he was born. And she was just about frazzled trying to take care of him. She brought him in. And when I adjust babies, I just use this tool that we looked at earlier, an electric adjusting instrument. It's very gentle. You can control exactly how much pressure you're putting on the baby. We adjusted this baby. He was screaming in my hands when we were working on him. As soon as we adjusted him, he just let out a sigh, stopped crying. And she came and saw me about once a month for 3 months, but said that was, after we adjusted him, it was the first time he had laid down taking a nap for more than just a few
So was it
minutes.
his spine or?
Just, his upper cervical spine, his upper neck, and the way his head connects to his spine was just out of place and just irritating him.
This is an area that I think we don't have enough information in, because I have seen and heard of so many that their babies just cry, and they call it colic, and they call it everything in the world, and it doesn't go away. Probably the falling down at some point as they're learning to walk might help some of them, but my goodness, to have a baby go through that when they don't need to. So you bring a baby in for an adjustment because of this. Is that costly?
No, that's the same as somebody else,
$25.
$25.
And how about children that crawl different or walk a little bit different, have trouble standing up? Could there be possible problems there?
Definitely. I had a mother brought her 18-month-old son to me once who was having a hard time walking. Had done well for a while and then had developed some problems. And just within, I think it was 6 or 7 adjustments, he had completely straightened his walking out and was back to normal. So some kids do develop problems, but they usually respond faster than adults and they heal quickly.
I just love that. I love that you know about that, because not everybody goes there as a chiropractor. So I appreciate that you know about that. Now, he said a magic word here a few minutes ago. So I'm going to I want to have him talk about this a little bit, because of all the things I've thought about for weight loss, I have not thought about going to see a chiropractor. So I'm really interested in this, because it has been my eternal struggle from really about age, I'm going to say 25 forward, and then it got serious at age 50, this weight business. I was a model for many years, stayed 115 pounds at 5'8", had 5 children, no problem, and then we have the weight. And everybody that I know at one time or another is discussing weight. And it's not because they're trying to gain. The people that talk about it are trying to lose. And I don't think there's a diet on the planet that I haven't tried at one time or another. I love eating. I love social eating. I love going out to dinner. I don't like cooking, but I love eating. And so I am really, really interested in this free Tuesday night health clinic. So let's hear about this and how you started and what's happening.
Okay, every Tuesday night we offer, we call it a health coaching class. It starts at 7 p.m. in my office at 591 North State Road 198 in Salem. And what we do is we work with a company called Take Shape for Life.
Take Shape for Life.
Take Shape for Life.
I've never even heard of that one.
And Take Shape for Life is actually the coaching arm of Medifast, which are the meal replacements that you can buy.
Medifast, okay.
So Medifast has had a lot of success. They have a lot of research behind them. They worked with Johns Hopkins University. They've proven that they can help people lose weight without losing their muscle mass. And so because they have all that research behind them, we know they're effective. So Take Shape for Life has filled in the gap where people get on these yo-yos where they lose weight and then they gain it back. So
You've been looking at my past, have you? Well, I lost some weight on Kyani, and that weight has pretty much stayed off, but it still hasn't gone down like I want it to, because I found out I wasn't getting enough minerals and vitamins. And because the Kyani drink Sunrise is loaded in good blueberries, they have added minerals and vitamins, and suddenly I simply wasn't as hungry. Plus, I have this energy that I hadn't had before. So talk to me about what makes this different. Now, you mentioned that they have some science behind their products. That is, if you order them and eat them, I assume.
That's right. So
okay.
we give you the coaching, because you're only going to be on the diet for a few months. But, if you have a lot of weight to lose, maybe a year. But most people, a few months, they'll get their weight down. That's when the important part comes. We have to transition from losing weight to living in the real world again. How do you do that? So when we have our classes on Tuesday nights, we teach you how to eat and the things you have to do so that you don't go through that yo-yo of losing weight, gaining it back. And so the MetaFast helps you with the weight loss part. We help you by coaching you to learn how to do that without going through that yo-yo.
So do they come in and weigh like at every other clinic that I've ever heard of? They come in and you get weighed and you get measured, and so you go through all that. And you're not using anything to stimulate anything anywhere. So this is a coaching process.
Exactly. And some people do come in and are part of the program. They buy the food. Other people just come in because they want to learn, and they don't want to buy the food.
You're not obligated to buy the food.
That's right. So we'll teach them too. It doesn't matter. We'll teach you how to eat, portion control. You can do that all on your own. But
so are you counting calories or counting fat?
No. When you're doing the MetaFast program, you eat their meals. That makes you lose weight. I haven't seen anybody that hasn't lost weight with that. But then when you transition off of that, we teach you how to eat. And most people eat far too much fatty foods, sugar, all those things that contribute to weight gain. Too many calories in. So we talk about changing your lifestyle. It really is a lifestyle change. You can't just...
Do you do a before and after photo?
Yes, we do.
That's really rude. I want only the after. All right, so at 7 o'clock every Tuesday night, a 12-week course, but you come in any time, and free weight loss clinic. I think this is terrific. Now, if they want any more information or want to talk to you about maybe a private session, can they do that by calling 504-6370? Is that what it is?
You bet. 504-6370. Call. We'll give them a free consultation. Just orient them, let them know what's going on, and then they can decide what they want to do.
How many people? I'm sure it must, we're talking 40 or 6?
Well, some nights I've had 20 people there. Other nights just 2 or 3. So it just kind of depends.
Depends on whatever. And most of them are with it for about 3 months. Would that be the average?
Yeah, 2 to 3 months. Some a little more, some a little less.
And do you talk about exercise?
We do talk about exercise. The neat thing about the MetaFast program is it doesn't require exercise.
Nah, do you believe that? I'm looking at the camera. Okay, do you believe that out there?
In fact, the first 2 or 3 weeks they're on it, we encourage them not to do any strenuous exercise.
Really?
Really.
I don't have to go over to BYU track anymore at 5 o'clock in the morning and walk.
After the first 3 weeks, we encourage you to get out and do moderate exercise, walking 30 minutes a day. But it's not hard. It's an easy way to lose weight.
Have you tried the products yourself?
I did. I went on it and lost 20 pounds the first month.
Okay, what do you think about HCG? That's just an off the cuff question.
I've had some experience with that, and almost everyone that I've known that's used that diet has gained their weight back afterwards.
I did.
So
and it was really rude. So I tried it again, and I lost 40 pounds and then gained most of it back. And that is the most discouraging thing I'd ever gone through.
So the HCG diet is also pretty difficult. Really low calorie.
Well, it's 500 calories. And if you go into ketosis and you're burning because you can feel it.
Yeah, this is different. You get to eat 6 times a day. We have a book and a workbook that we go through to help teach you.
So is that it?
Yeah, these are them.
Okay.
Dr. Anderson, Wayne Scott Anderson, he's the one that wrote it. But he doesn't just address weight loss. He addresses setting the goals. He addresses the
So everybody
habits.
buys one of these?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and we go through the book over the course of 12 weeks, and we learn all the different things that have to do with being healthy, not just weight loss. I would think
heart patients would just jump all over this puppy. Is that, and diabetics?
Yeah, we've got several of our patients that are doing it that have got type 2 diabetes, and it definitely helps those people.
Well, I beat the diabetes, but I haven't beat the weight thing yet. What are these? This looks yummy on the cover. I want to know what this is.
Their plan is called the 5-in-1 plan. You eat five of
For
their
our radio
meals.
audience, I'm looking at a book that's about an inch thick, plus there's some more of a pamphlet type thing with quick start guide, take shape for life, and it has planners, all kinds of planners. It probably has some meal planning and so forth.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
So the reason they call it the 5-in-1 plan is that you eat 5 of their meals a day, and then you eat one, what they call a lean and green meal.
Oh, you can't have just a whole bag of M&Ms?
Sorry. But lean and green, you make yourself a small piece of lean meat with like a salad or vegetable.
Well, I used to think that a lot of the weight that people gained had to do with emotional stuff, and may be true with some when we're younger. But I'm a happy person these days, and it's my forever. Now, this is showing crispy critters and things, and pancakes and all kinds of yummy things. And
Those
a
are the meals
milkshake.
that are available with Medifast.
Really? Well, I haven't heard of Medifast, actually. I've heard of everything else. Of course, they're running TV ads all the time with Marie Osmond and other stars to bring attention to what they're doing. So I'm really interested in looking at this. And now, what is that one?
And this is a workbook, just goes along with the book. So
Okay.
where you actually write your own goals
And
down.
tell the truth. And tell the truth about what's happening.
You write down your goals and lifestyle changes you're working on. And it's really simple, but it takes you through in a real easy to understand way.
Now, I like this combination, because then if there are things in your body that you know are hurting or out of whack, you're with somebody that can adjust that and fix it right now, kind of thing.
And the interesting thing is I have patients, as they lose weight, they need to get adjusted because it changes their biomechanics.
Of course it does.
I have a patient who's lost 50 pounds, and his back suddenly is being stressed differently. He comes in and gets adjusted because his
What a
biomechanics
nice
have changed.
combination. Oh, let's give your phone number. We all need this doctor. So let's make sure we've all got the phone number. So the phone number again is 801-504-6370. 504-6370. He is located at 591 North, State 198 in Salem, between Spanish Fork and Payson. Or you just get off in Spanish Fork and keep driving right straight through town and on out the other side, and you'll wind up in Salem. Is that right?
That's right.
And you're right next to a large gym. I like this free Tuesday night clinic. When you say people have lost weight, I know too many obese people that really it's going to take them longer than 2 months.
Yeah, and there's people out there that are losing 100 and plus pounds, and it takes them a year and a half.
And you work and coach those right
You
through
bet.
all of this, and they become your best friends because you now see them once a week. Well, I'm excited about this. We're going to go to another commercial break and then come back and kind of wrap all this up. And again, invite you to write these phone numbers down, get acquainted with Dr. Craig Crockett. And boy, he's offering a great deal for free and for nearly free. His 6 visits for $240, laser visits.
Laser treatment.
And then adjustments, chiropractic adjustments for $25, and that usually takes anywhere from a half hour, 45 minutes to an hour.
Typically half an hour for your first visit, and then after that, 15, 20 minutes.
And he's right next door to a gym. So if you live in that area, go work out and then go get fixed up. Or the other way around. Go get fixed up and then we'll talk about that when we get back. We'll be back in a few minutes. This is Dr. Craig Crockett and Pat Sheranian. Stay with us. We'll be back.
When you think about an auto body shop, what services come to mind? Collision repair? Ding removal? Painting and detailing? How about headlight repair, power window repair, and carpet cleaning? Casey's Bend and Mend in Provo will take those unwanted bends out of your vehicle and mend it back to great shape. For 15 years, Casey's Bend and Mend owner, Kevin Stubbs, has been using his artistry to get you back on the road looking good. Personable and approachable, Kevin will provide a free estimate and offers discounts to students and self-pay clients, in addition to working with all the insurance companies. Trust your vehicle to a craftsman, someone who will give you personal service and care. Casey's Bend and Mend, located at 85 East, 600 South in Provo. Give Kevin at Casey's Bend and Mend a call at 801-374-0930. You bend 'em, we mend 'em.
Has bad credit got you stuck? Bad credit can cost you thousands of dollars a year in extra charges, fees, interest, and insurance costs. Are you sure you want to waste all that hard-earned money? Vantage Credit Alliance, a local top-rated national credit repair company, has attorneys that attack the credit bureaus using the laws of the Fair Credit Reporting Act to get negatives removed off your credit report. In fact, they are so good that they average a 127-point increase in just 4 to 6 months, an astounding increase compared with any other credit repair company in the nation. This means that you get your credit scores in the 700s or higher. It means that you can buy that dream house, get that car you've always wanted, invest instead of watching opportunities go by and missing your dreams. The great part, it's affordable. In fact, you can save the cost of credit repair with Vantage Credit Alliance many times over in the first year alone. You owe it to yourself to get a great credit score and start saving your hard-earned money instead of wasting on high interest and insurance rates. It doesn't have to be that way. Call 801-769-9443 to get a free credit analysis that will show you what has to be done to get your credit scores back. Just visit us at www.vantageca.com and set an appointment today.
Are you looking to create another revenue stream in 2012? Are you willing to put out the effort to generate some cash flow? Pat Sheranian is seeking 10 motivated individuals to join her Kyani team as independent distributors. Earn as much as you are willing to work for selling Kyani Sunrise, Sunset, Nitro FX, and Nitro Extreme. These great products are helping thousands of people enjoy better health and an improved financial situation. The most successful Kyani independent distributors started by trying the Kyani products, just as you can, virtually risk-free, as Kyani offers a 30-day money-back satisfaction guarantee. Try them and don't like them, and you'll get your money back, less the shipping costs. So many people today are challenged by obesity and diabetes, or don't have enough money for their needs, and they aren't doing anything about it. Don't be one of them. Call Pat Sheranian at 801-362-9552 to find out more about Kyani and what it can do for your health and for your wealth. That's 801-362-9552.
Thanks for joining us and staying with us this last hour. We've got a few more minutes, and Dr. Craig Crockett is with me. I'm very excited about all that he is doing. I feel like that I found a whole program here that makes a lot of sense. He is going to take my shoulder from where it is to fix. He's going to make my feet feel better. Along the way, I'm going to get my head adjusted, mentally healthier, and then the weight loss program. And so I'm pretty excited about meeting him for the very first time today, and I certainly hope that we can have him back. Let me give his phone number, because we've talked about a lot of things, and you may want to call him and speak with him directly. So it's 801-504-6370. He's located in Salem, 591 North, State 198. I just think you've got it all wrapped up together. I mean, I've heard parts and pieces of all of this, but I like the modalities that you're using. I have to go try the foot bath with the electricity running through me, and I'm sure I will if you tell me I will. I trust you. And this free weight loss clinic at 7 o'clock on Tuesday nights. Y'all just come, be there. Is what, about an hour?
Yep, lasts about an hour.
And there are some books that you'll need to buy, a workbook and so forth, but if you're serious about this, then come and meet with me. I'll be there. I can't do it this Tuesday night because I have a conflict, but starting the following week, honey, I'm going to be down there. We're going to get this weight off, and I'm going to think I'm a lot younger than I will ever be. So
that'll be good for you.
I had just asked Doctor, thank you, I just asked Doctor if he had some really good stories, because when all is said and done, it's the testimonies that make a difference to us, because people are real, and we believe when we can see what has happened, and we hear about it first, and then we go look for it and see it, then we begin to believe we can make that happen in our lives too.
So I'd like to tell you a quick story that happened to me last week. I had a patient come and see me. He's actually home from his mission, has been home from his mission for about 3 weeks. He was on his mission for 7 months, but he was having intense pain in his groin and couldn't find a solution. Came home, has been to 7 different doctors, came to see me last week, and his dad thought, let's take him to a chiropractor. Maybe he's got a biomechanical problem. So he came in, and what we found is that there's a muscle in your body called your psoas muscle.
Say it again.
Psoas.
Psoas.
P-S-O-A-S.
Okay.
And it actually attaches to your femur, which is your leg bone, and up into your spine. And if that muscle's tight, it actually shifts your pelvis, causes your pelvis to be crooked. And that was all that was wrong with this young man. He came home from his mission because he had a tight muscle, but the muscle was so tight and inflamed, it was irritating his pelvis, his testicles were hurting, had all kinds of problems. I met him one time, we adjusted him, I showed him how to stretch the muscle. I saw him 2 days later, he was out of pain, he called his mission president, he's headed back in a couple weeks.
Oh my gosh, that's a great story.
So, biomechanics have a lot to do with chiropractic, but muscles are definitely involved. A lot of chiropractors might just crack you and send you on your way. We try to find out what's going on so we can help you actually get over whatever the problem is.
And so in the end, you lose patience.
Yes, I do. But there's one good thing. Everybody has stress in their life, so they come back occasionally.
Stress causes a lot of problems for all of us, and sometimes we don't know that we've overloaded until we're just totally stressed. So tell me what you do for that. What modality would you use? And just, hey, I'm just stressed to pieces. I can't stop thinking about everything.
We offer massage therapy in our office, and we recommend that people get a massage once a month at least, and then an adjustment after the massage. People, as stress accumulates in their body, their muscles get tighter. And they may not technically need a chiropractic adjustment, except that their muscles have gotten them so tight that now their joints stop working.
So you have a massage therapist, and those treatments are how much?
It's $50 for an hour or $30 for a half an hour.
Okay.
And so a lot of my patients come in, they'll get a massage and then get adjusted afterwards, and strictly as a maintenance method for maintaining their health. Because stress is rampant in our society, we need to have a way to deal with that.
I just feel like stress causes a great deal of a number of our illnesses. I have believed that for years. The longer, the longer I live, the more I believe that. Do you have a story of just about the worst case you ever saw?
Well, I've had a lot of those, but I've had people that literally could not walk because of pain and come in and with a real gentle adjustment, they walk out the door. And I've had the same kind of thing with headaches. People come in with headaches.
Oh, I just met a lady that has a terrible migraine headache. She's had them for years and years and years. That's so in the brain. So is it stemming has to be from somewhere else if you can adjust it?
And a lot of times I find that people have chronic headaches, have a biomechanical problem. They've lost the curve in their neck, and we address those kinds of issues.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Lost the curve in your neck?
Your neck normally has a curve from front to back, and a lot of people, if they've had whiplash in their life or whatever, they'll lose that curve, and it creates problems in your spine.
And that would then cause nerve pinches, or?
Yes, your spinal cord actually.
What creates the headache?
Usually it's muscle tension. Even migraine headaches oftentimes will start with muscle tension. But the muscle tension stems from the fact that your biomechanics are incorrect, that you've lost the curve in your neck, and consequently that biomechanical problem causes muscle tension, which creates the headache.
My goodness, doctor, I'm so glad you came today and had time for me. Thank you so much.
Well, thanks for inviting me.
And along with my audience, I'm going to be calling his office for an appointment, and the number is 801-504-6370. 504-6370. Down in Salem. We're located in Provo, so I can say down in Salem, and it's between Spanish Fork and Payson at 591 North State 198. Can you just walk in?
You can walk in.
You might have to wait.
You might have to wait. Sometimes we'll reschedule you if it's real busy, but
okay.
Yeah, we accept walk-ins.
And you give a free consultation?
You bet.
All right. I think that's great. Thanks again, Doctor, for being with me.
Pat.
Appreciate your being here.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you for being with us today. Be good and have a healthy week.